Today, we're going to be taking a look at how you can activate Tier 4 Blind Well, also known as the Heroic version. I'm going to show you how you beat this week's boss, and what kind of stuff you can expect to get from it. So to even activate the Heroic version, you'll need two things. Well, three actually. A Tier 3 Charge of Light, an Unstable Charge of Light, which I just call Tier 4, and a bunch of help. But I would recommend being 540 Light or higher for the Heroic version. And the recommended power for Heroic is 580, so keep that in mind when attempting this. Let's go over how you activate the Heroic version and how to beat this week's boss, Cragur, Plague of Well. So all you have to do is enter a Tier 3 charge into the Blind Well and then successfully beat Tier 3. Once Tier 3 is over, head to the middle of the well and go up to where you usually enter the charges, on that center spire thing. If you have an unstable charge of light, it will prompt you to give the charge to the well, and anyone can enter an unstable charge. So if you use the Tier 3, your friend can just use the unstable. When the Heroic version begins, the boss will spawn at the back of the arena. He is shielded and immune to all incoming damage. To take down his shields, you need to throw a relic at him. These relics will spawn 3 at a time, once you take down a certain group of enemies. When the event first starts, head to the left of the arena and there will be 2 wizards you need to take down. Once the wizards are killed, 3 relics will spawn. Picking up and throwing all 3 relics at the boss will take down his shields, and you can actually charge up these relics to do more damage by passing it to a teammate. You'll know when the relic is supercharged by the crazy glowing light effects that surround the relic. Throwing the relic anywhere but the boss or an open teammate will waste it, and it will just explode. If you try and throw the relic at a teammate who already has one, it will also waste it. One supercharged relic, or a relic that has been passed to a teammate once, is enough to take down the boss's entire shield and do just over 29,000 damage. So if you miss or whiff the other 2 bombs, you can still recover. With enough teammates doing damage, you can one-phase the boss pretty easily, but in the event that his shield returns before you kill him, there are 2 more opportunities. Once his shield comes back, head to the right of the arena and there will be a pair of ogres you need to kill. And similar to the wizards, they will trigger the spawn of 3 more relics. Repeat the previous steps of supercharging the relics and then tossing them at the boss. Now, if you weren't able to kill the boss in the first 2 phases, do not worry, there is a final chance to take him down. Near the entrance to the Blind Well spawns 2 knights. Taking these 2 knights down will, you guessed it, spawn in 3 final relics. This is your last chance to defeat the boss, and upon doing so, you'll unlock a triumph called the Hive Champion for defeating Cragur, Plague of Well. Similar to Escalation Protocol, the bosses will most likely rotate, so it won't always be this boss or Hive enemies. There are different triumphs associated to different bosses, so you'll want to return once a week to kill each boss. But that's not the only reason to complete the Heroic version each week. On your first completion of the week, you'll be granted a powerful reward. This reward is going to be a significant boost in light for the first few weeks you try this, because the activity's recommended level is so far above you. Even if you've completed the Heroic version already, you still have a chance to get a Tier 4 charge, which I received on my second Heroic run. You can buy charges from Petra for dark fragments. Now for some general advice on this mode. Use your supers all the time. This is one of the 2 most important things I'll stress when going into the Blind Well. The entire first run I did, I was the only one using my super. If everyone is using their super, it makes the activity go so much faster. And how do you get your super? Well, you kill the Servants of the Plague. These are the shielded enemies that have glowing aura around them. To kill the servants, you need to kill the Anathema, which are the enemies that are glowing but do not have shields. These Anathema drop a glowing orb that gives you a harmony buff, allowing you to strip these servants of their shield. And they also give you your super back almost immediately. The more Anathema and servants you kill, the more supers you get. This goes for the boss rounds too. The more Anathema you kill, the more supers people have to easier take down the bosses. So really keep your eyes peeled for those guys. All the time I see people just ignoring them and trying to focus on the less tough enemies, but trust me, it is well worth your time to chase after the glowing guys. For rounds that are really Curse Thrall heavy, a Dawnblade with a Well of Radiance is super nice to have. It increases the survivability of the team, and it's great to have your whole team inside during a boss damage phase so that one person after another isn't dying, and then you spend the rest of the time reviving instead of doing damage. As for supers, you can pretty much use anything. This activity is pretty flexible in that regard. Overall, I'd say this is a very fun activity, but I'd still put Escalation Protocol higher on the list because at the moment, there are no Blind Well exclusive rewards. This is a huge bummer, but I guess we'll see what happens in the coming weeks, and maybe there is another version of the activity that actually has exclusive rewards. I imagine there will be a pretty cool Ascendant version of the well sometime in the future, something crazy like that, or else this activity will die out pretty quickly. Oh yeah, and please Bungie, put a fast travel point next to the blind well. That would be so helpful. Alright guys, that does it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck on your heroic blind well runs.